You just spent 40 minutes driving across town to save $3 on something you could have bought down the street. Or maybe you're still subscribed to a streaming service you never use because canceling feels like losing something. Perhaps you stayed in a relationship for 2 years longer than you should have because you'd already invested so much time. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is actively sabotaging you by making terrible deals seem like good ones. And understanding why this happens might save you from your next catastrophically bad decision. Let's start with the most powerful trick your brain plays on you, something behavioral economists call the sunk cost fallacy. This is when you continue investing time, money, or energy into something that's clearly not working simply because you've already invested so much. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman's research shows that humans are far more motivated by avoiding loss than by achieving gain. In fact, the pain of losing something is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. This is why you'll sit through an awful movie just because you paid for the ticket, even though those $15 are gone whether you stay or leave. Your brain can't stand the idea of wasting what you've already spent, so it tricks you into throwing good money, time, and energy after bad. Here's what makes this so destructive. Sunk costs are completely irrelevant to future decisions. The money you spent, the time you invested, the effort you put in, it's gone. It's in the past. The only thing that matters is whether continuing forward from this point serves you. But your brain doesn't work that way. It's looking backward, tallying up everything you've sacrificed, and telling you that walking away means all of that was for nothing. Except here's the truth. Continuing something that doesn't work doesn't honor your past investment. It just creates more loss. You're not getting that time or money back by staying. You're just adding to the pile of wasted resources. This shows up everywhere in your life, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. That gym membership you never use, but keep paying for because you might start going. The degree you're pursuing, even though you hate the field because you're already 2 years in. The friendship where you're doing all the work because you've been friends since childhood. The business idea you keep funding even though it's clearly not viable because you've already put in so much. Your brain is making a deal with you. Keep going, and maybe you'll eventually get a return on what you've invested. But that's not how reality works. Past investment doesn't obligate future success. Let's talk about another way your brain loves bad deals, something called present bias. Research from behavioral science shows that humans are terrible at valuing future consequences compared to immediate rewards. Your rational brain knows that saving money is important, but when you're standing in front of something you want right now, the part of your brain that lights up is the same one that responds to cocaine. MIT economist Dan Ariely's experiments demonstrate that we'll consistently choose smaller immediate rewards over larger delayed ones, even when it makes no logical sense. This is why you'll blow your paycheck on impulse purchases and then stress about rent. Your present self is making deals that your future self has to pay for, and your brain is completely fine with that arrangement. The scary part is that your brain is designed this way for survival reasons that no longer apply. Our ancestors lived in environments of scarcity where immediate rewards genuinely mattered more than long-term planning. If you found food, you ate it now because you might not find more tomorrow. But we're not living in that world anymore. Most of us aren't facing immediate survival threats, yet our brains are still operating like we are. So we grab the donut, we buy the thing on sale we don't need, we choose the easy dopamine hit over the disciplined choice that would actually serve us, and then we wonder why we can't seem to build the life we want. Here's another mental trap that keeps you locked into bad deals: the endowment effect. This is when you value something more simply because you own it. Studies by psychologist Richard Thaler show that people demand way more money to give up something they have than they'd be willing to pay to acquire it in the first place. You see this with possessions. That jacket you never wear is suddenly precious when you think about donating it. But it also happens with beliefs, relationships, and identities. You'll defend ideas you're not even sure you believe anymore simply because they're yours. You'll stay in situations that hurt you because walking away means admitting you were wrong, and your brain treats that admission like a loss of self. So how do you fight against a brain that's literally wired to make bad deals? First, you have to externalize your decision-making. When you're too close to something, you can't see it clearly. Ask yourself, if I were advising a friend in this exact situation, what would I tell them to do? This creates psychological distance and lets you access your rational brain instead of your emotional one. Another powerful question: If I weren't already invested in this, would I choose it now? If you wouldn't start this relationship, take this job, or buy this thing from scratch knowing what you know now, then your only reason for staying is sunk cost. And that's not a reason. It's a trap. Second, practice making small decisions based on future value instead of past investment. Cancel that subscription you don't use. Leave the movie theater if the film is terrible. Stop finishing books you hate just because you started them. These tiny acts of walking away train your brain that sunk costs don't control you. Each time you make a forward-looking decision instead of a backward-looking one, you're building the neural pathways for better judgment. It's like exercise for your decision-making muscles. Third, get brutally honest about what your current choices are actually costing you. That relationship you're staying in because you've already invested 3 years? It's not just costing you those 3 years. It's costing you every future day you could spend finding something real. That business you keep funding? It's not just the money you've already lost. It's the opportunity cost of what else you could be doing with your time and resources. When you factor in what continuing costs you, suddenly walking away doesn't look like loss. It looks like freedom. Here's the bottom line. Your brain is going to keep trying to make bad deals because that's what it's designed to do. Evolution doesn't care if you're happy or successful. It only cares if you survive, and the mechanisms that helped your ancestors survive are now keeping you stuck. But you're not a prisoner to your neurology. Awareness is the first step. Every time you catch yourself thinking, "But I've already invested so much," you can pause and recognize that voice for what it is, your sunk cost brain trying to trick you into throwing good resources after bad. The second you shift from, "What have I already spent?" to "What serves my future?" you take your power back. And that's when you stop making deals that cost you everything and start making choices that actually build the life you want. Your past investment is gone. The only question that matters is, what am I going to do from this moment forward? And suddenly, walking away from bad deals becomes the smartest investment you've ever made.